Hi YouTube, welcome back to Wtf Rc Cars. So we got an update for the G7P transmitter to bring it more in line with rest of transmitters. They've all been receiving updates, and this one is 1044. So let's bring in for a close-up look, show you how to get on with this one, and yeah, we'll have a look at changelog, see what they've changed on it. So for this one we're going to need some kind of PC. We're going to need a USB-C cable, preferably the Flysky one that came with your transmitter. And for this you just plug the USB-C into the actual transmitter itself. So we'll get that connected. Let's see if I can get that somewhere where you can see it without it falling over. It should be good enough. So first off, on this one you're going to want to go to flysky-cn.com, and I'll put a link to this in description of video. Then you want to click on products, click on surface, scroll down, click on the G7P. Then we want to go to downloads and upgrades. If we scroll down we can see we've got updated user manual, we've got the changelog, the new firmware, and we've got a link to Flysky Assistant for Mac and Windows. You want to get the Assistant downloaded. You want the 3.3.5 version of Assistant, which is the latest. So I'm not sure what this link takes you to, but I have done a full video on it, and I know if you go onto Surface and then go on to like the MB4 Pro Plus or anything like this, if you scroll down it is listed as 3.3.5. So for this transmitter we want to be on G7P, downloads and upgrades. So we've got as firmware. So first off I'm going to download the actual firmware. I don't like using Assistant to update, and for me I go desktop, then I've made an Assistant folder and then a G7P folder, and I'm going to save as update to that. If we have a look in the changelog, so let's zoom in on it a bit, make it a bit easier to read. And for those of you that don't read Chinese or Mandarin, so we've got a low signal alarm function, can be enabled or disabled, alarm sign can be enabled or disabled, alarm value and repetition cycle can be set. We've got a telemetry loss function, can be enabled or disabled, the sound can, and then the sensitivity can also be set. We've added race mode, which is basically a do not disturb mode. So if you don't want the telemetry alarm and the low signal alarm to be bothering you, you can trick that, turn that mode on, and it'll stop those sort of bothering you while you're using the vehicle. Then we've got modified failsafe function. So this is, you've got a response time added, fixed an issue where the alarm does not reset. I believe that's so fix an issue where the alarm does not reset to the state that it's set to after triggering a timer reset. Yeah, that's a bit of a mouthful, but basically when the timer gets reset the alarm doesn't reset with it, and that's fixed. And modified model functions, so we've got 15 sets of model data are provided for selection now, and fixed other known issues, but it doesn't tell you what. It does advise you to make a backup of your models. I would make a backup using the latest version of Assistant, because the older version of Assistant backups aren't compatible with the newer version before you do the firmware update, but I will take you through doing that. As I said, I have done a video on how to install this new version of Assistant. Just make sure you uninstall the old one first. So next we want to open Assistant, and thank God this is a hell of a lot quicker than it used to be. Once we've got this open, you see it does detect the transmitter. We can click on as transmitter, we can click export, load model memories. This will quickly get all your model memories. I'm just going to select all, export. Then we're going to browse back to our desktop as Assistant folder, as G7P folder, hit save. You do get the screen on the transmitter changed to do not operate during data transfer. They are quite small, these model memories, so what you can do on here, we can see we've got 1031 firmware. You can click firmware update. We've already done backup. You can go update and then update when Flysky add the new firmware in here. I strongly advise not to do that. One, it takes forever, and two, if a system crashes, there's a chance you'll brick your transmitter. This is why, if we go to us folder, so we go desktop, assistant, G7P, and in here I've downloaded the standalone updater. So for this to work, we need to go onto the transmitter. We need to go down through our menus till you get to system, then click firmware update. It says make sure battery is charged when you're doing a firmware update, but just press OK. You will see it say updating, do not operate, and you'll hear Windows make the sound that it's detected the transmitter. Once it has, you can open the updater. You'll see that it's detected the transmitter. It says ready for update, 1031 hardware version 1.5, and the update is 1044. So we can click update, and it's pretty quick to do it on the actual standalone updater. Flysky Assistant on the other half is really slow. So you see how quick it was to do that. It's come back on, it says 1044, so we can close that. We can minimize that. It's asking us if we want to set the failsafe. We can just click no. So we've now got the transmitter back up, but if we go in, we've got no model memories. So to restore as model memories, we need to use Assistant. I would strongly advise the first thing you do is go into your system menu, go to calibration. It says set everything to center, so make sure all your dials are in the center. Not sure if we've got that as an option to calibrate now. I know it wasn't on an earlier firmware, but center all your dials, your steering and everything, then press start. Yeah, we can calibrate this now. I know on the really early firmware we couldn't, so then we do as throttle, we do as steering, and then VR2 we need to calibrate as well. Once they're all done, should be able to back out. Calibration successful. Now you'll not get any weirdness with your transmitter. So next we're going to open up Assistant again. Wait for it to pick up our transmitter, click into it, click import, load model memories. We're going to go back to our desktop, Assistant V3, G7P folder, click as backed up memories. It shows you all what we're going to restore, so we can click import. It does tell you not to touch it on the screen. So these you can select one at a time. Once you've got them on here, you can click up and down to move them around. If you click reset, it'll put them all back. If you want to do all the lot at once and you're happy with the order, you can do that. So this is a strange one. So where it says they've changed the model memories, so have they now reduced this down? Because we've only got 15 memory slots, and originally we had 20. So we did have 20 memory slots, but it looks like they've lost some space to the actual update. Whether that's intentional or not sure. I can certainly see how people would see this not as a massive upgrade, because it looks like it's lost the ability to have the 5 extra memory slots. So definitely something to be aware of with this update. So if we click add By only selecting 15, we don't get the warning that there's too many memories added, and it clearly had 20 previously. I know when they add features there is limited memory, so that may be why. Once you've got them on here, you can move them up and down by just clicking these. You select the one you want, change the option where it is. Once you're happy with them, you can click OK. So definitely a curious update that we lose 5 memory slots. Not really sure why, but once we've done that, we can close out of it. We can go back onto his transmitter. So if we flick down, go to select model, you can see they are all back. But yeah, we do now only have 15 memory slots. Quite interesting. It's the first time I've seen an update actually remove memory slots. Maybe it's because they're using more of the memory now for other requested features. Not sure. Not sure if it's intentional, but it does say in change logs that they've changed it to 15. But yeah, definitely something to be aware of. If you've got more than 15 on there, then it is definitely going to be a problem for you. You might want to avoid this update. But functionality wise, everything works. We got no issues with it, and you've got a few new features on it. You have to weigh up whether them new features are worth losing 5 memory slots, but yeah, definitely going to be an interesting one. Definitely interested to see if Flysky address this and say it's intentional or it's a mistake, but you do lose 5 memory slots. But everything seems to work fine. The transmitter's all up and running. It does fully work. Don't want to set as failsafe, but yeah, it's got new functions and lost 5 memory slots. But let's wrap this one up. So there you have it, the Flysky G7P updated to 1044. Not sure why we lose 5 memory channels, but they have added a few features to it. Maybe they're running out of memory on this transmitter, but you have to let me comment below whether you think it's worth adding features and losing 5 memory slots. It is kind of losing a quarter of what it's capable of storing, but also 15 RC cars, quite a lot of cars to have on a cheap transmitter, and it is one of the lower end ones, but it does have some nice functionality. But there you have it. That's it is what it is. I will reach out to Flysky and ask them to clarify why it loses 5 memory channels. But thanks again for watching WTF Rc Cars. Hopefully you find this useful, entertaining, or just like listening to my incessant ramblings. Don't forget to like and subscribe, hit the notification bell, share to friends and family, and catch you guys again in the next one.